Good evening, YouTuber subscribers and friends and the like. It's Clint coming at you from Norfolk, Nebraska. I'm on my way up to get my stuff from my mom's house, some winter clothing, 80 power stuff that I have her holding on to, and check out my car and stuff like that. I am at the Walmart in Norfolk, Nebraska. I'm in a Hertz rental truck. I'll come show you that out. Check that out in a second. I delivered a bigger, regular generic box truck that didn't have the partition cutaway like that, and it was, bigger, like a Ford chassis like this, but then like your van chassis instead of transit chassis, and had a huge box on it. But I had footage for that, and then it screwed it up, so I can't upload that one. But that's what I did last week. Went from Goshen to Fargo, North Dakota. Made my way back from Fargo, hitchhiking and doing a bunch of other stuff to try to get back, because that run for 735 miles just didn't pay enough. It was more of a favor for quality than anything. Didn't do me any favors. But anyway, this is the Hertz rental truck, and I don't know if you can see, I didn't have it up. Right there is the $40 Hurricane cane I bought specifically to be my cruise control, because this is the second one of these trucks that I've taken. Doesn't have cruise, and they have a bunch of them that they need moved. They have like 300 and something in their units. As other places that I might sign up for have like 500 of them to use. There's like a huge Hertz rental truck contract came through, and the only thing is they don't have cruise control. But it's okay, you can put that cane down there between the seat and the gas pedal and make it work. And I was able to drive 700 miles today, which is actually the longest, the most amount of miles that I've done for a transporting trip yet. It's 700 miles today. So it didn't affect me much now that once I got that cruise in there handled, like a manual cruise setup. Other than that, these are nice tiny little box trucks. They're fun to drive, their size and everything's not much bigger than a van. As you can see, like I showed you in the last video, I might have a lot of these coming up. I don't know, because they seem to favor wanting to move those more than the RVs and everything else. I tried to get a nice Class B to show you guys. I requested them, but I got sucked into this, which I'm okay with now that I figured out the cruise control. This is what you would call protective parking, a version of it. Park in such a way that people would not park next to you like that, and that protects the unit. Or you can park like next to the light pole, like they did, but right here, and that way the pole would keep one side of the unit protected. But it's basically what we went over in orientation once a long time ago, and it makes sense. Park in such a way that you protect the unit, so from scratches and dings and accidental drive-ups next to you and stuff like that. And so I was just showing you that while I was out there. It's a nice night so far in Norfolk, Nebraska. Like I say, I did 700 miles today. I have 320 miles to get up to Chatter, Nebraska, where my mom and my brother live, and meet them for supper tomorrow, and get my winter clothes, because apparently winter has finally arrived. It's October 14th now, I think, so halfway through October. Not too shabby for having decent weather up until halfway through October. It hasn't snowed yet or anything, it's just getting colder. So I just thought I would show you the gist of what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future. I mean, I'm going to try to do different content and take some Class A's and Class B's and C's and RVs and other kind of box trucks and stuff to show you, but so far quality is big time on moving these Hertz trucks. And now that I've figured out that $40 Hurricane cane, you can fold it up to be able to take it on the plane. This is only the top part's missing, because it's down there somewhere right there, the handle. I just disconnected it because that's the only length that I need from here to the gas pedal to the seat is just right. It literally just goes right to it, the corner of the seat to the gas pedal. Just perfect for that. And then when you're on the plane flying back, this folds up to make it tiny, which is hard to do with one hand, but basically you can see those legs fold up. They separate and fold up. All in all, and then it's only like a foot space or so for when you put it in your bag in the plane. Or if you really want to, I try to fly exit row seats if I can, because they're wider and bigger and stuff like that, so you can't be looking like you're disabled or whatnot if you're in the exit row. But if I wasn't doing the exit row, if you want to get first place on the plane, you want to get on first or you want to get on last and have like the closest row, like row 1, closest row to the door or something, and get the gate attendants to jury rig that for you. You can creep up there with a cane and act like you have a disability, and then they'll put you in the front row. So it's a little flight hint to you all out there if you wanted to, tips and tricks for flying. Other than that, I would say take the exit row, and it's usually around 13A or 13F, and be specific on which row that you take. You want the rear exit row, not the front exit row, because the front exit row seats do not recline. However, the rear seats that are the starting section of the next section from the exit row back, those recline, and they're nice big seats, and you get plenty of leg room and everything like that. So it's usually in row 13 on most of the bigger jets. That's another tip for you. I just wanted to show you the parking lot and the truck and what I'm doing. This particular Hertz rental truck is going from Goshen, Indiana, about 2,300 miles to Oakland, California. The paid miles is about 2,218, I think, give or take. Ends up being about 2,300 miles because I have to add about 100 miles extra to go a little bit further north into Nebraska to be able to get to Shatter to pick up my stuff. But we are allowed to go up to 200 miles off the route added on to the number on your odometer when you turn in your starting and your ending odometer. We're allowed the extra 200 miles of going here or there along the route. It's just whether you can afford it and feel it or not. And the other thing I have been noticing is, and I've known this from before, is quality is kind of a penny pincher in terms of they only really give you the amount for fuel out the gate, and then you're on your own for everything else. Synergy would give you the amount for fuel plus a couple hundred just to help you get you there, because it's your money anyway, either which way, whether you get paid at the start with it or you get paid at the end of it. But quality seems to penny pinch their stuff and make sure that your units get there before they pay you what they call your profit. And I saw Victory. Well, I took a cab back into Elkhart the other day, and we didn't have to, but they asked me to carpool in the cab, and I said, yeah, I will. And then I rode along into Victory Drive Away, which is a new company in Elkhart, and I might apply to them, and I might be thinking about applying to Classic. At the moment, I can't go back to Synergy for 6 months, and then because I can't go back to Synergy, I can't apply to Bennett for 6 months. So Synergy's a 6 months out, Bennett might be a year out, I'm not sure. But the other companies don't have any problem with me coming back on if I want to. Classic, or I can apply for Victory, or possibly Pinnacle, but Pinnacle only has step vans. I'm not a huge fan of doing that. And when I looked in the lots the other day when I was driving by I drove by one in one of these units just to see what they had in their lot, and then I rode by in a cab for Victory, and we went to tour their lot because the transporter that was with us, that was the other customer of the cab, she was picking up her unit, and they have a bunch of these Hertz trucks there too. So it's, I don't know, Elkhart County must have won a big old contract for Hertz rental trucks, because there's just probably upwards of 300 to 500 units per yard of rental trucks in 3 or 4 different yards in Elkhart that I know of. And I've seen that in Classic too. They had a bunch of them. So unfortunately, well, I mean, it's not bad. I just wish they had crews, their own little regular crews by the button, and then these would be perfect. I'd take them all the time. Just the right size little box truck. They don't take that much in fuel. It's averages about 12 miles to the gallon, give or take, kind of like a Class A, but it's fuel efficient EcoBoost, and the Ford kind of makes up for it a little bit, but they're not too bad. You still get profit out of the deal. This one, like I said, paid somewhere around $2,200 because it was 2,218 miles or something like that, and it would take me 700 or 800 in fuel to get there, I think. But then the cheap flight back on Frontier, if I watch my bags, is only 185 or something like that to go to Chicago. And there's one that's even cheaper than that. That was $85. That'll probably go up by the time I buy it next day. But I don't like buying a week out and then hoping I get there during that week, because that's when the RV or whatever you're driving will break down, or somebody will hit you, or, and then on the cheaper airlines like Frontier, you're kind of screwed when you buy your stuff. If I bought the more expensive airlines like Delta, higher end, higher class type of airline, which I would normally do, but they're more expensive. They're like $300 a ticket for that same ticket. But if I did that, I would have the ability to change it to whatever I want in the future. So it wouldn't be no big deal. You could just switch it to some other trip's flight. But in order to be cheaper and write them out now at the moment, because I'm restarting working for Quality, I have to do the 10 trips worth of escrow again to save up my $1,000, since they paid my $1,000 out that I had when I was in Miles City. That was part of what I bought the Ford Expedition with. Since I did that, I have to take the 10 trips worth of about $100 a trip to take out until they get to $1,000. And when they do that, then I'll have that $100 a trip coming back to me then, since they're not going to escrow with it, and I'll be able to start saving up from that. But I figure probably 10 weeks, give or take, before I'll get way ahead. I can maybe stay above even at the moment, but I don't know, we'll see. I mean, if they give me 2,200 miles a week going out to California or Washington every single week for these box trucks, which is that's what they really want to move, and I'm okay with doing it now that I'm doing the cruise control through the cane, then I could stand to make decent money on these things. They're not too bad. They're not the greatest thing in the world, but they're not bad. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you a quick update. Like and subscribe, leave comments, and we'll catch you on the flip. Peace.